Is Hanover coming today? Kelsey, is Hanover coming today?
No, sir, it will be someone else.
He filed a motion to revoke and raise on a Vicente Rodriguez.
I did that yesterday.
You filed it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I guess you want to still talk about it?
Yes, Judge. And the reason we did that, Judge Jackson requested we do so because we were asking it orally, but we filed that and we can talk about that.
Okay, all right, I guess let's do this. Ms. Esquivel, you are charged with violation of a bond or protective order. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On January 8th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, the officers were conducting surveillance on the defendant who had active warrants out of the 178th as part of a fugitive task force when they observed the defendant's vehicle parked at a location where the defendant was prohibited from going due to an active protection order. The officers then observed the vehicle drive away, driven by the complainant of the defendant's open case in the 178th. The officers then observed the vehicle to have an expired registration and initiated a traffic stop. The officer then found the defendant hiding in the back seat. Both the complainant and the defendant acknowledged that the defendant was prohibited from the residence.
So she was at the
She was at
residence.
the complainant's residence, yes.
Was she with the complaining witness as well?
Yes. They
Okay,
were
so
together.
how bad are we talking the ag assault? Do you mind telling me about that?
I'll tell you about the aggravated assault, Your Honor. So in the aggravated assault, the officers were dispatched to a disturbance and they met with the complainant who stated he was involved in a verbal altercation at a bar earlier in the morning. And then once the complainant arrived home, he was locked out of his house and had to force the door open. And that started another disturbance with the defendant. The defendant threw several items at the complainant and the defendant began to strike the complainant on the back of his neck several times with their hands. And the officer observed the complainant to have red scratch marks on his neck. Further, the defendant retrieved a black compact handgun and pointed at the complainant and racked the slide, thereby placing the complainant in fear for his life.
Okay. Ms. Esquivel, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I want you to understand something very, very clear. The Texas Constitution does not allow me but in extremely limited circumstances to hold someone at bond. Zero bond. This is that situation. I'm going to put a protective order naming this person as a protected individual. If you so much as do anything to violate any of these conditions, I can have a hearing to hold you at no bond. And I will do it in a heartbeat to protect every person in my county. Do you understand? You are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. No weapons, no contact with the complaining witness, and no going. I'm assuming, is it a he, she? Well, it doesn't matter. You're not to have any contact. Don't go anywhere where this person lives, works, anything. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't want to talk about the case, but
President, I'm a little
Oh.
confused.
who's your lawyer?
Robert Valles, and he's on my case. He was supposed to be here this morning. I'm a little confused.
Do you know, has Bo said he's going to show? We had no idea that you have a lawyer. Okay, so let's do this. What I can do is I can have you take a seat. We'll wait for him to get here. But regardless, I'm putting these conditions on your bond. I've found that probable cause exists to go forward with your case. The only thing I'm telling you now, don't violate any of these conditions because there are severe consequences.
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll go through it again when your lawyer gets here, but just don't leave until he gets here, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
For now, I'm gonna have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you get signed for your conditions. Just take a seat momentarily. Well, once he gets here, then we'll go through it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Good morning, Judge.